Hey everyone, thanks for watching. So today I am finally bringing you my updated highlighting and contouring routine. So I do have an old video on my channel of cream slash liquid highlighting and contouring, and I've just kind of perfected the technique that works for me. So these products and this technique may not work the best for you, but it works great for me. So hopefully you guys can see the way that I do it and take something from it and make it work for you. It's great when your cousin goes, "Hey, did you lose weight?" And you're like, "No." They're like, "Well, I can see it in your face. You look thinner. Did you lose a couple pounds?" And you're like, "Oh, it's just my contour." But thanks. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, I hope you can take something from it and perfect it for yourself. The most important thing to remember is just to keep practicing and you will get what works for you. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to start with highlighting first. I've been using the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous in Fair. I like using concealers to highlight, and I'm going to put this under my eye like that. I'm just going to blend that down and out towards the temple. So down and out like that. I don't do the upside down triangle anymore. Nothing wrong with doing that, but I bring it out more. I'm going back into the same concealer. Going to put some on my forehead. I can draw little pretty flowers like a lot of people can. Down the bridge of my nose. And I try to keep this as straight and even as possible. It's kind of harder said than done. And then a little bit on Cupid's bow and my chin. So that is basically it for concealer. Sometimes I put it here in kind of like the laugh line area or around my mouth, but I have a little bit of a breakout here, so I'm going to stay away from anything brightening. So I'm just going to do these areas here. So I conceal and highlight under my eye, forehead, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and chin, so that center part of the face. And I'm going to take I cleaned it finally, damp sponge. This one is the Real Techniques. I love the sponge. And just tap it in. I do the forehead, I kind of twist it like this to blend it out. So it's not just one spot right in the middle of my forehead, it's kind of blended out. Now that the highlighting parts of the concealer are blended, I'm going to take my ring finger and start by gently pressing the concealer in under my eye, and then I will blend it out with the sponge. So now I have my under eyes concealed and the center part of my face highlighted. Make sure it's all blended. Now before I go any further, I'm going to set my under eyes. That way they don't crease. So I've been using the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. A little Morphe like dome brush. Going to tap it in there and then tap off some of the excess. And I'm going to keep this just under the eye. That was the easy part. Now going on to contouring. I've been using the MAC Pure Sculpture cream. And then with this cream, I've been using a Morphe brush. I think it's a concealer brush, and dip it in the middle of the cream. God, I have little hairs everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see. So now I'm going to start on my cheekbones. So I like to pull my hair back and kind of pull my face up a little bit, and I can feel around. So here is my cheekbone. I have higher cheekbones, and just underneath is where I'm going to place that contour. And I'm only going to go down about here. Yeah, my cheekbone is here, so I'm going to end about here. So I'm going to start more at the temple. I want the darkest part at the temple, and then it to get lighter as it goes under the cheekbone. Just like that. And I kind of curve it up and around that hollow. Then whatever's left on my brush, I pull up. And because I didn't wash this brush, I'm sure there's a lot on this brush. So that'll be fun to blend later. Okay, same thing on the other side. I don't want it to just come out of nowhere. And that's what I used to do. I used to just hit the cheekbone, do my nose, and that was about it. And after watching other videos and kind of practicing and playing around with it and perfecting my own technique, I do feel that it's best for it to come around the hairline, around the temple here, so then it doesn't look like you just have a line out of nowhere. It kind of comes from this area here. So now I'm going to do my nose. I hate my nose. I always have. I probably always will. So this is my favorite way of contouring my nose. So I'm going to take some more product on the same brush and go down on the side, or sides, trying to keep that center still nice and highlighted and bright. Then I'm going to pull this across and down. So those lines are going to be the darkest parts. Now I'm going to drag whatever's left down. Like that, so down on the sides of my nose. And then again, whatever's left, I'm not dipping back in. I'm going to bring this up closer to my eyebrow, but still keeping this section here, where the widest part of my nose is, keeping that the darkest. Nose contour I found is kind of the same as the cheek contour. You don't want it to just come out of nowhere. It's kind of starting at the brow and coming down, just like your cheek contour is starting at your temple hairline area and coming down this way. And I don't like it to be a diamond shape, so I do kind of square this off. I just want this center part to be highlighted. And I will go hardcore heavy on that highlight. I don't mind, as long as the rest of it is darker. All I do after that is take a little bit on the tip and get under my lip, so I kind of pout. Like that. Draw the darkest part under the lip, and then I just kind of fan it out on the sides. I'll give you the extra pouty lip, and then you can put it on your jawline, on your chin. I tend not to. I do have like a double chin going on, so I could get under there and contour, but I find it gets a little muddy, and this is really all I need. I don't really go crazy contouring my forehead. I just kind of bring it down a little bit. My biggest concerns are my nose and defining my cheekbones more. So I'm just going to take a spray bottle of water over my garbage can. Try not to make a mess. Really great to use a sponge for blending cream and liquid products. It will soak up any of the excess product, and then I just find it easier to blend. I'm running out of breath. Drink water. It looks scary now, but once you blend it out, you're good. So I like to take the side of the sponge. I always want to call it a beauty blender. It's not. The side of the sponge. I'm going to pull, just gently pull my hairline back a little bit. With the cheek contour, I'm going to bounce it up and down in kind of that area. Onto the temple, I'm going to roll this back into the hairline. So I'm still bouncing and pushing the product into my skin, but now I'm going to fold it back into the hairline. So kind of blend it back into the hairline. Now I'm really bad for forgetting to blend this out, so I'm going to do that right now. I usually use the tip of the sponge and I push it up towards the lip. I'm going to use the flat part. Ring fingers to kind of push in the top part, and then I use a different finger, a clean finger, to make sure that the center is still highlighted and kind of clear of any of that contour. And that is pretty much it. It looks scary and intimidating and crazy. I've had a lot of days where I'm like, this isn't gonna blend, this isn't going to work, but luckily it does. And if you have a hard time blending it, just keep re-moistening your sponge and keep working at it. It'll come together. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I just use a Morphe powder brush. Tap it off. I hate that. And I kind of start in the center, and I really work on my nose because I do have a lot of product on my nose. And then I just dust it all around. And so I keep the majority of the powder in the T-zone area, my forehead area. My forehead has been getting oily lately, so I've been trying to powder that a little bit more. So I only dip into the actual powder once, and then when there's very little product left on my brush, I just lightly tap over those contour areas. My cheeks are very, very dry, so I try not to go crazy powdering them, but I do want to set the concealer that I put down here and make sure that contour doesn't go anywhere. By CoverGirl, and it is the True Blend Baked Blush. I think it was medium rose. There's like a light rose, medium rose. It's like the medium one. Anyway, using an angled blush brush by Morphe. I don't know how pigmented this is. We'll find out. So my contour was here. I want my blush above that. So right on the top of the cheekbone. Ooh, that is pretty pigmented. I'm going to start by patting it and then blending it up. That is pretty. That's why I make such crazy blush faces. Doing this step will help to further blend that contour so then you don't have like a zebra stripe on your face. Everything will be blended. Crazy faces and all. Okay, that is really nice. I'm loving this blush. That is so pretty. Alright, other side. I'm usually not a fan of baked products, like baked eyeshadows or baked blushes. They're not my favorite, but I am loving this blush already. Okay, so now to further highlight, you gotta have that glow, that sparkle. I've been loving the ColourPop highlighter in Fanny Pack. A couple of fingers, I guess my middle finger, and I'm going to keep this on my cheekbone. Like that. Nice little stripe. Do the same thing. Woo! Okay, so for my highlighter, I do like to bring it around this way, kind of like a heart. So as I'm blending it, I'm going to just kind of wrap it around. It's kind of the same thing with the contour. You don't want your highlight to just be like a stripe and come out of nowhere. So I do almost like a strobing technique and just gently bring it around this way. Same finger. I'm not trying to like flip you guys off, it's just the finger I end up using. Going to put this on the bridge of my nose. And I try to keep it, again, very straight and smooth. I don't want it to be like bumpy and crazy because you'll draw attention when I don't want a lot of attention. I just want that center to be highlighted and brighter, and then the sides to be darker. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. My finger, I'm going to put on my Cupid bow, and there's really nothing left on my finger, but I'm just going to dab it on my chin. But that is basically everything. That's how I highlight and contour, mostly using cream products. Yeah. So now that the concealer and everything is done, I quickly finished up my lower lash line. I just put on some nude liner on the waterline and did my bottom lash mascara. So now that everything is done and complete, we are going to set the face. I have been using the NYX Dewy Finish spray lately. Let's take a little shower in that, do a little dance, and you're good to go.